So we've covered what owner's title policy is, the title search, the title evidence, and now we're ready to go into the closing day. What exciting day that is for both parties. And all this time, the title company has been scurrying around getting all of the title search done and getting things ready. But you know, most times when you think about a title company, you're pretty much thinking that they're preparing that HUD settlement statement that's going to break down all the charges according to what was agreed upon in the negotiations of the contract. And they're all just really interested in, obviously, the bottom line, what they're going to bring to the table and what they're going to get at the table. But there are things that you have to prepare both parties for, but let's focus on the buyer and how does the buyer need to be prepared for that closing day, because we already know the excitement is high. They're getting that home and they've got so much going on, maybe moving out of another place, trying to get that done, and so there's a lot of things to help them and try and keep it an easy, smooth, exciting process for them. So can you kind of explain what the buyer is to expect when we're getting ready for the day of closing?
Sure, Lisa, I'd love to. You know, the closing day is such an exciting day. It's really the finale of everything, all the work that's gone on behind the scenes. Everybody's invested a lot of time and effort up till now. We've talked about what the title agent does behind the scenes. Your real estate agent is working hard for you. Your lender has been doing a lot of research, and so this is really the crescendo of it all. And so closing day is so important when you actually come to the closing table. So a few things that you can do as a buyer to be prepared. You're always going to need identification. Remember to bring your identification. Make sure that it's not expired. You've got to have current valid ID. We want to make sure that nobody's buying a house on your behalf. Nobody's selling a house on your behalf. We always check for identification and make sure that we have the correct and proper parties. That can be an issue, so that's a big deal. Another thing for the buyer is remembering to bring your funds for closing. Make sure that you've got your funds lined up. Are you transferring money from accounts? Where's that money coming from? Are there gift funds? Just be sure that you know that you have your money ready to be accessed. You can bring in a cashier's check or a wire transfer. I will tell you that wire transfers are going to be preferable. That's the quickest and best method these days, is a wire transfer. Don't expect to bring a personal check to closing. Still, we'll see that from time to time where somebody wants to write a personal check. So I will tell you, don't expect to write a personal check for closing. You will need to be prepared to bring certified funds or a wire transfer. Also, you can expect to have a lot of paperwork, especially as a first-time home buyer. If you've got a loan and financing, there's going to be a great deal of paperwork, and it can be very overwhelming. So at the closing, as the title agent, we really want things to be smooth for you. We want it to be a pleasurable experience. And so I know personally, we try to hit all the high notes first, and that's going to be making sure all the names and the property is correct. Make sure that we prepare that HUD settlement statement in accordance with that contract. Everything on the HUD and the contract need to match up. The sales price to who is paying for what, the loan amount needs to be correct. And so I'm going to go over that money and the figures with you first, because if that's not right, then then we need to just push pause for a moment. But at this point, hopefully everything is correct, and so we want to talk about those figures first. Make sure it meets your expectation. Make sure that the payment is what you expect it to be, that your interest rate is correct. And if all those things are good, it makes the rest of the process so much smoother. From that on point, we can really begin to move through signing those documents in a really timely manner.